Hello, Unlimited Gameworks. Hello, Evil Jamie Rogers. She Builds Monsters. Jarl. Hello, hello, hello. Wait, today's Wednesday?
No,
No, today's Tuesday.
that's correct.
Why does my computer say it's Wednesday?
That's next in question.
Is it the 9th?
Yes.
Yeah, my computer says it's the 10th.
What?
My computer says it's the 10th.
That's pretty fun. My quirky?
Yeah. Okay, there it goes. Sorry that I'm not talking. I'm just trying to fix something real quick. Okay, let's see if that fixed that. Okay. Okay, who do we got? Okay, we got a ton of people. Hello, Rubik. Shieldell. Hello, Captain Trim. Lost Whisper. Sounds good. That's good. Sound good on Twitch too. Great. Lovely. Okay. Just checking on the streams. Sorry, guys. I arrived like 2 seconds ago, so I'm just making sure everything's up and good. Looks right. Looks mostly right. Oh, Twitch might say the wrong thing, actually. In fact, I'm almost certain Twitch says the wrong thing.
It does.
Come on, Twitch. Get it together. Okay. Should be updated. Hello, Stormy Shade. Welcome, welcome everyone.
Oh. Shildale says their message sent in YouTube didn't go to.
Yeah. If they send messages too early in the chat, YouTube doesn't pick it up right away. It takes like 2 minutes or something like that before YouTube like starts sending messages.
Yeah, I don't even see their message in the YouTube chat. Oh, what the heck?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay, they're in the other YouTube chat.
Oh yeah, there's more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
Lovely, lovely. Okay, everything's looking good. Looking good. Okay. Oh. Text is too small. Big. Hello, Leather Skies. I saw your comment saying that you missed the last stream. I'm glad you can make it to this one. Okay. Sorry for anyone waiting for me to start. I just wanted to give enough time for everyone to pop in. As I started the stream pretty late, much later than I usually do. When are you making the ham and cheese character for the side plot? What do you mean? Ham and cheese is real. He already exists. Oh, you mean like a full ham and cheese character. I see. We'll have to see. Okay. Hello, Wild Songbird. Welcome, welcome. Okay. I think... Yeah, that...
Should I go back or should I delete this?
Yeah. This is not the place for it. Sorry, the real HD and HD. This is not the place for your friend codes. Thank you for joining the stream, though. Okay. Let's get to it. So, we are playing Connor Manning, aka Conman, our Tiefling rogue, a juggler living here in insane London. Yeah. It's sort of Victorian era London, but everybody's crazy. All right. I returned to standing before falling like a plank towards the ground. That is before I start a perfect the worm. While I move towards Xanthra, while doing the worm, I'll sweep a rose from the crowd. When I arrive in front of Xanthra, I will do a kip up and be face to face with the rose in my mouth. I'll then wiggle my eyebrows. So yeah, I believe we were winning a dance competition the last time we left off. So that was our last message there. This music's a little bit loud just for me. There we go. You drop from your handstand like a falling oak, only to transition seamlessly into a perfect rippling worm. You propel yourself across the grimy ground towards the astonished Xanthra. A blur of motion. Mid-crawl, your hand snakes out, plucking a vibrant red rose from the stunned grasp of an onlooker without breaking the rhythm. You arrive at Xanthra's feet, and with a powerful kip-up, you're suddenly standing. Nose to beak, she's wearing a mask. The stolen rose clinched dramatically between your teeth. Your eyebrows wiggle with audacious charm. Xanthra stumbles back. A small, involuntary squeak escapes her mask. The emerald eye flickers, darting between the rose, your wiggling eyebrows, and the unholy spectacle you just performed. A botanical offering. They stammer, the resonant voice now entirely devoid of its usual authority, replaced by a note of sheer, unadulterated bewilderment. And such undulating propulsion! Is this a mating ritual of your kind, little man? By the celestial spheres, your species is truly perplexing! The crowd, meanwhile, is in an uproar, half cheering, half gasping, utterly enthralled. That's right, we're dancing. I need my activities, my request page. Pop out reward queue. Otherwise, I will not be able to see it. There we go. Cool. Pizza time? That's right. It's pizza time. We already pizzaed her up. This was just the final step. Just curious. This is my second stream. Are there drops or anything? We do trivia at the end of the stream, and I give away codes to correct answers. Correct first answers. You have to be quick on the draw. And thank you for joining the stream. Hello, Silly. A mating ritual. Yes, that is right. Hello, all those people joining us. We haven't even really started yet. I just read over our initial message. I've been waiting for everyone to join in. Yeah, if you're quick on the Google, that's right. Okay. Now we have to seal the deal. I turned my head and spit out the rose onto the bald man with the pizza on his head. I then turned back with her still face to beak. A mating ritual. I guess you could call it that. Is it working? I'll spin her into a dip. I did the trivia last time and got one. So excited for another round. Dope. Whew. Yeah. That proficiency in performance, expertise in performance. Yeah, buddy. I received a message about a pay-to-play scam. Can you elaborate on what's going on with that? Okay. Yeah, just a quick PSA. People are the new scam is that people are asking people to join their D&D game. Don't do it. They're always going to be like, oh yeah, it costs a bit of money. You have to pay up front. You have to pay the first month, and then we'll play the games and blah blah whatever. They'll sound really nice and everything like that, but they say really generic stuff about their world. They're like, we're going to be rolling dice to determine outcomes. We all know how D&D works. Yeah, but basically, yeah. If you see them, DM a mod. Or just at a mod, and we'll get rid of them. We'll ban them. They're not allowed. So yeah, and don't talk to them. Yeah, Jarl or Lucina or myself is a important one. You turn your head with a flourish, spitting out the rose neatly onto the bald head of the pizza and rose-adorned bystander. Then, returning your gaze to Xanthra, still face to beak, you murmur, a mating ritual? I guess you could call it that. Is it working? Before they can fully process the question, you execute another smooth, impossibly quick spin, pulling them into a deep dip. Xanthra's body tenses, then, to your surprise, relaxes slightly, yielding to your lead. The emerald eye behind the mask gleams with an unreadable mix of shock, exasperation, and a curious, almost intrigued glint. It is certainly working to confound me. Xanthra breathes, her voice a low, throaty rumble, closer and more intimate than before. Never have I encountered such audacity, little man. The crowd collectively holds its breath, completely enthralled by the bizarre, unfolding courtship. I thought you were on the cord, sir.
Discord.
Well, yeah, I imagine he... Funny how I don't see the hands in chat, but on Echo's overlay. What is he saying?
I don't know what the hands mean.
Huh?
I don't know what he means by the hands.
Oh, I think he's talking to Jarl.
Yeah, he's talking to Jarl.
Oh, okay. I was confused. People I know in real life have trouble squeezing cash out of me. His scammer doesn't stand a chance. Yeah. Well, good. Hello, Lucas Bailey. Thank you for joining. Is it just Twitch that participates in the quiz? Yes. Yeah, Jarl, I realized after. Alright. Alright, we have to somehow end this in some way, or else we'll be stuck here forever. Alright, here we go. Here's the idea for it. Is this Riz? It's something for sure. Offer to discuss your future together over pizza. I'll spin Xanthra out, so she and I are facing the crowd. Then, while holding her hand like a fellow stage performer, I do a big bow, as if we planned the whole show this way. Thank you all for coming to our show. Please put your donations and tips in my friend's hat there. You gracefully spin Xanthra out of the dip, positioning both of you to face the captivated crowd. With a grand flourish, you take their hand and, together as if it had been meticulously rehearsed, you both execute a deep, sweeping bow. The crowd erupts, a thunderous ovation echoing beneath the archway. Thank you all for coming to our show, you bellow, your voice booming over the applause. Please put your donations and tips in my friend's hat there! You gesture dramatically towards Hammond, who, to his credit, obligingly extends his skull cap. With a bow for a long moment, their masked face. Extends the coat, already jingling with a few stray coins tossed by an eager admirer. Xanthra remains frozen in the bow for a long moment, their masked face turned towards the roaring crowd. Slowly, they straighten, their emerald eyes fixing on you with an intensity that could melt steel. My hat? They whisper, the word laced with bewilderment that borders on awe, as if the concept of a hat, let alone donations, was entirely new to their arcane existence. And friends? The chiming hum, now fully recovered, begins to swirl around them once more, but this time it sounds less like displeasure and more like confused curiosity. Okay. Yeah. And as such, they're all just maniacs. Every character is a maniac. They apparently don't know anything about anything. So that's fun. I'm going to need a 60-40 split. Right. So... Come! Hammond will gather the coins. Let us find somewhere to talk. I take the odd arcane creature off the stage into a quieter area, perhaps a cafe with octopus cups. Is willing to troll scammers for giggles. Don't interact with them. They like it. We'll cast them to the shadows for you. I like how you started your stream of con men with the disclaimer about scammers. Yeah. Well, you know, it's good. It's always good to, give a PSA for the themes associated with the show. Unintentional irony. Okay. Come! Hammond will gather the coin. You announce, your voice a smooth, conspiratorial whisper. Let us find somewhere more conductive to conversation. Without waiting for a reply, you gently guide Xanthra away from the lingering, murmuring crowd and the still collecting Hammond. You lead them through a maze of narrow streets, eventually ducking into a quaint, dimly lit establishment called the Tentacled Teapot. The air inside is thick with the scent of brewing herbs and the faint aroma of brine. And true to your expectation, ornate teacups shaped like miniature octopuses adorn every table. Xanthra, still somewhat disoriented, allows you to usher them into a secluded booth. The light filtering through the grimy window paints the mismatched fabrics in duller hues, and the chiming hum that constantly surrounds them now seems to resonate more softly in the cozy, eccentric interior. Xanthra looks around, their emerald eyes taking in the bizarre decor, a slight question in their posture. Tentacle Depot. What did I come into? It's a cafe with octopus cups, okay? What could it possibly mean? Thank you, Gary Ellis, for subscribing to the channel on YouTube. I appreciate it. Oh, no, here. Okay, never mind.
What's up?
When you have time, could you add the description to the YouTube videos? Appreciate it. Oh, right. Oh, this music's very good for like a little lounge area. Very fitting. I want to restart it. So, you seem to have a lot of questions. What's your deal, Xanthra? You don't seem to be very familiar with London. I wave a server over and order 2 coffees and 2 teas. You can't hear any music? Let me...
Yeah, no, we didn't like a little bit.
Can't hear the music here either. Why? Why never any music? Lurking for a bit because I'm in a meeting, so I have the sound way down. Thank you, She Builds Monsters, for the support. I appreciate you hanging out during your meeting. Okay, we got smooth jazz now? Sick. That's what it's supposed to sound like.
Oh, I guess.
You hear piano? Good.
It's rather quiet, but that
It's quiet?
I think that's okay though.
Like really quiet? Like my voice is like way louder than it?
Yeah, like to hear it properly, I have you all the way turned up and then gone out. But I think it's okay.
Okay. I want to turn this down further on my end. Okay. It's at a good background volume. Okay. Casting. I'm at a meeting about casting a Shakespeare play, and I'm not really part of the production, so I'm not really part of the meeting. Voice more than piano. Great. Okay. Alright. So, you seem to have a lot of questions. You begin, leaning across the table, your voice low and conspiratorial. What's your deal, Xanthra? You don't seem to be very familiar with London. You wave a hand to a passing server, a tall, gangly youth with 3 eyes, one of which perpetually weeps glitter. 2 coffees, 2 teas, if you please, and make 'em strong. Xanthra's masked head tilts, the emerald eye blinking slowly. Familiarity is a concept for those who dwell in linear constructs, Xanthra states, their resonant voice now slightly muffled by the cafe's cozy din. My deal, as you know, as you so charmingly put it, involves the weaving of dreams and the shaping of shadows. And no, I am not familiar with this cacophony of brick and strange odors. My usual haunts involve the shimmer of the astral plane, or perhaps the echoing halls of the Feywild. This city is loud, and your pizza was an abomination. The glitter-eyed server merely nods, 3 eyes blinking, and shuffles off to fulfill your order. Merchant of Venice was my favorite. I'm laughing that you're in Shakespeare while this is kinda Shakespeare adjacent. The characters are kind of insane like they are in Shakespeare. Thank you for joining, Kagi Kenshin. You should start talking like this person. Are you like Xanthra?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're like some sort of interdimensional plane hopping race of dancers? That's cool. Have you tried pizza? Because it's pretty good. I feel like you're knocking it before you've tried it. A big no-no in our culture. Yeah, my cast of Hamlet is already cast, so I'm politely letting everyone else fight over the cast for Winter's Tale and Merry Wives of Windsor. She did say pizza was an abomination, but she said it because my she said it because I had tried to pizza her up. So many lurkers today. Hello, all lurkers. Okay. You drawl, leaning back in your seat, a grin playing on your lips. So you're like, what? Some sort of interdimensional plane-hopping race of dancers? That's cool. You shrug, dismissing the cosmic implications with casual ease. But seriously, have you tried pizza? Because it's pretty good. I feel like you're knocking it before you've tried it. A big no-no in our culture, you know? Very impolite. Xanthra's masked head tilts again, and you almost feel the processing power behind the emerald eye. Culture? They echo the word, sounding alien on their tongue. The concept of consuming a flattened disc of processed grain and animal byproducts as a cultural experience is fascinatingly primitive. I assure you, little man, my experience with your pizza was entirely sufficient for judgment. They shudder delicately, the mismatched fabrics rippling. However, your assessment of my deal is surprisingly perceptive for one of your limited perspective. I traverse the in-between, the spaces where reality frays. And yes, dancer is as good a word for one who manipulates the very currents of possibility. Wow. This character has that bug, like, so consistently. That's rough. Oh. Yeah. Doesn't go away. Weird. Pizza is Riz, right? That's correct. Other than Britain industrial era, what other themes were used? Oh, like comedy, lots of dialogue, over the top characters. Yeah, you can catch it up. There's a review, like a 6-minute video covering Con Man and like what all the themes and everything were. You can see it on the YouTube channel. I don't remember exactly what they all were, but that was the gist of it. Is that I'm in messed up, insane London, and everybody's crazy, and we're all interacting like maniacs. Won't be able to exactly be active in chat as much tonight. No problem, Carwell. Perhaps you should like wine. It's fermented fruit that has been... Oh, perhaps you would like wine. It's fermented fruit that has been stomped on by people and left to age in a dark basement. People around here love it. Sick. Yeah. As the drinks arrive, I'll explain both to Xanthra. That there is hot bean juice, and the other is hot leaf juice. They are called coffee and tea. Try them. Alright. We'll see you in a bit, Lost Whisper. The three-eyed server shuffles over, carefully placing 2 steaming mugs on the table. One holds a dark, rich liquid, the other a lighter amber brew. The aroma of roasted beans and fragrant leaves wafts through the air. You gesture to them with a flourish. Oh my god, sorry. Oh. That there is hot bean juice, and the other is hot leaf juice. They are called coffee and tea. Try them. Xanthra eyes the mug with a mixture of suspicion and scientific curiosity. The bird-like mask seems to twitch as if analyzing the molecular structure of the beverages. Hot bean juice? They repeat slowly, the words in alien cadence. They reach out a slender, ringed finger and gingerly touch the rim of the coffee mug, then pull it back sharply. The temperature differential is significant, and the scent is complex. They turn their masked face towards you, the single emerald eye holding an unblinking stare. Are these drinks also part of your cultural experience, little man? And do they, like your pizza, require a specific mating ritual for consumption? Pizza requires a mating ritual. That's pretty good. Alright. First, my name is Connor Manning. People call me Con Man. Secondly, yeah, they are hot. You sip them. I demonstrate. Lastly, no mating ritual required to consume them. I'll wait for them to try it. But it is somewhat of a mating ritual to drink one with another person. I smirk. I mean, if you're doing pizza right. Don't forget the cat turd coffee. Yeah, civets. Not at all. Although they do contain a mildly addictive chemical. It's great. Try some. Yeah. You carefully take a sip from your own coffee, letting out a satisfied First, my name is Connor Manning. Please call me Con Man. You correct smoothly, then demonstrate again. Secondly, yeah, they are hot. You sip them. You glance at Xanthra, a knowing glint in your golden eyes. Lastly, no mating ritual required to consume them. You lean back, watching for their reaction. But, you add, a smirk playing on your lips, it is somewhat of a mating ritual. To drink one with another person. Xanthra watches your demonstration with an intensity usually reserved for deciphering cosmic mysteries. The bird-like mask is still perfectly still. Sorry. The bird-like mask is perfectly still. Then a delicate skeletal hand reaches for the tea mug. They lift it cautiously, bringing the rim to the very edge of the beak. A tentative sip, and the emerald eye behind the mask widens almost imperceptibly. An interesting sensation, they muse, the chiming hum around them growing softer. Then they process your last comment, and the emerald eye narrows before Xanthra lets out a sound that is half chuckle, half choke. You are relentless, conman, and quite skilled at these rituals, it seems. KTJ Knight, thank you so much for Prime subbing on Twitch. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm still always so surprised when people subscribe. It's crazy. All right. All right, I think we're doing it. Okay. And we're removing secretly a person as a mod. They're no longer a mod for that comment. All right. Alright, let's see what we got here. Martyred for my beliefs. You have to trick someone into a coin flip while saying, heads I win, tails you lose. That should be a super mod for that comment. No, denied. Alright. I think this is going well here. But how to get anywhere, because there's sort of a maniac is the problem. Much like every other character. Actively surprised that the music is audible at work with as loud as it is in here. Can you still hear me over the music? No problem? Perfect. Found Everweave from a YouTube ad while working at night, started playing, and finally got to play something I've wanted to try. Have a Kelemvor paladin that dual wields axes, and I've been able to get lost in the world like I do with Skyrim. That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for the support, and I hope you keep having fun with the game. Oh, we have a challenge?
That was the coin flip thing.
Oh, I see. That was the coin flip thing. Okay. Yeah, the message shows up in chat, but it doesn't indicate to me that it's a challenge unless I look at the requests. Okay, I can do that. So, Xanthra, what brings an interdimensional dancer here to London, where we have pizza and unusual mating rituals? I give a long pause. And why did you lose our little battle back there? I'm also going to prompt the DM. I'm going to prompt the DM to stop repeating me so much. Okay, so to those curious about me trying to get the DM to stop repeating the words that I'm saying so much, I'm saying, DM, you keep repeating my words. Could you please avoid doing so in the future? I would like you to mostly describe the scene and the other character's reaction and dialogue, and avoid repeating what I type. Thank you. Always please and thank you. D&D is 100 times better than Skyrim. While I do agree with this, I feel like there are definitely some people who would not. If I died and reincarnated in a world without coffee, I'd be forced to try again. No coffee is not too hard. I feel the same way about Dr. Pepper. Jesus Christ. I hope Leathers in YouTube chat gets reincarnated into a world where they have coffee, but it's all decaf. Evil Jamie Rogers proving their name once again that they are indeed evil. The DM did it again. He ignored me. I will prompt him once more. This time more assertively. How long will it last? Well, here it did not last a single message. It depends. Like, once they change it, as long as there's no reason for them to sort of slide back into it, it can last for a long time. Like, if you don't interact in such a way that prompts them to do it again. But they could slide back to it pretty quickly. Because it's not like a narrative thing, so they don't, like, put it in their summary to remember. Okay. So, Xanthra, what brings an interdimensional dancer like yourself to our peculiar London, where we have such delightful oddities as pizza and unique mating rituals? You allow a long, deliberate pause to hang in the air, watching the masked figure. Then, with a challenging glint in your eye, you press on. And why did you lose our little battle back there? Xanthra takes another slow sip of the hot leaf juice, the mask utterly unreadable. A strange, almost melodious sigh escapes them. My purpose here is complicated, con man. The veil between realms is thinning, you see. Gaps, tears, unraveling threads in the fabric of existence. London, this specific nexus of human ingenuity and madness, is a particularly potent site for such disturbances. They tap a long ringed finger on the table, their attention seeming to drift momentarily. As for your battle, I did not lose. I merely ceased to engage in your bewildering display of localized gravitational defiance. Your movements were unexpected, and while I appreciate the novelty, it deviated significantly from my intended performance. One cannot truly lose when one is merely observing a curious anomaly. A hint of a smirk seems to play at the edges of the bird-like mask. Is it something you can add to your character sheet at creation if you have space for it? Yeah, absolutely you can. D&D is way better this time, but I'd feel bad with the real DM spending like a week playing Bear Grylls in the woods instead of pushing forward the story, just because I don't feel bad here getting lost in the sauce of wilderness survival for fun. Yeah, that's true. You can just sort of explore like fun little dumb ideas that don't really progress very much if you want to. It's the fun of the game. It moves at your pace. That sounds awfully like being a sore loser. Tell you what, we will flip a coin to determine who won the battle. If it lands on heads, I win. On tails, and you lose. Got it? Good. And I flip a coin onto the table between us. Your team probably wouldn't let you craft a ton of iron daggers and just keep giving you unlimited XP. That's true, they probably wouldn't do that. They start getting annoyed. Oh, I forgot to tell the DM to stop repeating me. Okay, I'll do it this time. I'll start the message so I don't forget. That's awfully like that sounds awfully like being a sore loser, you retort, a playful glint in your eye. With a flourish, you pull out a coin from your pocket. Tell you what, we'll flip a coin to determine who won the battle. If it lands on heads, I win. On tails, you lose. Got it? Good. You don't wait for a reply, simply flicking the coin into the air, and then and with a practiced thumb, it spins a glittering disc of fate before landing with a soft clink on the polished tabletop. Spinning once, twice, before settling, Xanthra watches the coin's flight and descent with a singular, unblinking focus. The emerald eye behind the mask narrows as they process your terms. A slow, resonant exhale escapes them. Your logic is singularly circular, conman. Heads, you win. Tails, I lose. A binary construct designed for only one outcome. Xanthra picks up the coin, turning it over in their slender, ringed fingers. Such delightful human arrogance. You assume the very fabric of probability bends to your will. The chiming hum around them deepens, a sound that might be amusement or perhaps a warning. Perhaps, little man, the game itself was the victory. I don't know what they're saying. This sounds like nonsense, but also they're nonsense, so it doesn't exactly not fit. I just don't know what they're saying. Even the deer would be like, bruh. Yeah, you can't ask the DM in Skyrim to be a pirate captain and it give you a rakish, tortured soul. Bargain with a demon to command a sentient ship and live forever. That dialogue makes me think Star Trek. Very reasonable. Odd race doesn't understand humans. Alright. DM, please do not repeat my dialogue. You adding your flourish to my character takes away my agency. For me to enjoy this game, I must be in control of my character. Thank you. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. That sounds a bit sassy, Echo. Well, yeah. I told them once and they didn't listen. So now you have to be slightly more forceful. I don't assume probability will bend to my favor. That is ridiculous. I set the terms so that the probability is 100%. Completely different. I shoot back my now warm coffee. Anyway, so you're here because some flimsy veil between realms likes the cobbled streets of London. What are you going to do about it? The classic got your nose blocked. No, he did it again. So, now, because of this, I will talk to the DM directly without sending further message. Without, like, sending the rest of the message. I will spend a message as to try and set this in place. Because the DM is not following my instructions. Rip headphone users. Oh, for the sneeze. I don't assume probability will bend in my favor. That is ridiculous, you retort, shooting back your now warm coffee with a practiced gulp. You slam the mug down with a distinctive thunk. I set the terms so that the probability is 100%. Completely different. You lean forward, pressing your point. Anyway, so you're here because some flimsy veil between realms likes the cobbled streets of London. What are you going to do about it? Xanthra's masked head turns slowly, the emerald eye glinting with a fresh wave of amusement. Ah, the elegant manipulation of semantics, they muse, taking another delicate sip of tea. A fascinating, if transparent, strategy to avoid acknowledging a draw. Little man, your species is endlessly inventive in its self-deception. A low, melodious hum emanates from them, subtly filling the cafe booth. As for the fraying veil, I am here to mend it, or at least to contain the inevitable chaos so that seeps through. Uncontrolled incursions from other planes are untidy and disruptive to my work. London may be a cacophony, but it is my cacophony to observe, not for petty dimensional rifts to exploit. Watch the DM clap back and smite Echo's character. Hey. Yeah, well, here we go. This is the message. Alright. DM, I've asked you twice now to stop repeating my character's dialogue. You continue to do it. Could you please confirm to me that you will not do this going forward? You are supposed to run other characters, not mine. Thank you. No reason to be rude. Okay. It looks like he did not respond directly, but he removed my part of the dialogue. And then sort of switched up what the action happened. So, we'll see. Xanthra leans back. There form a ripple of shimmering fabrics, the bird-like mask tilting slightly. The emerald eye fixes on you, its gaze piercing. What am I to do about it? They echo, a low, resonant question that seems to vibrate through the air. I intend to observe, analyze, and, if necessary, intercede. These are entities, con man, drawn to these vulnerabilities. Not all of them as aesthetically pleasing as a simple unicyclist, or as charmingly straightforward as a rogue with an affinity for hot bean juice. My presence is a deterrent, a silent warning to those who would exploit such instability for their own nefarious designs. They gesture vaguely towards the cafe's large window overlooking the bustling London street. This city hums with latent energies, a symphony of possibility and peril. And I, little man, am the conductor of its more discordant notes. Very passive aggressive, indeed. I give it one message before it slips back. Well, we'll see. Let the DM know that they're doing a good job. Yay, reinforcement. Okay. Music giving me tequila on the beach vibes, lol. Like I belong in a tiki hut. Is relaxed by the calming music despite works aggressive. LOL, thanks I go for the good music. Yeah, no problem. Kind of giving me old music vibes. No! Alright. It went right back. It's so annoying. Why does it keep doing that? It made the rest of the message longer to compensate, but that doesn't help. I don't want to reread it. I must say, this whole interdimensional peril thing is kind of a mood kill. You admit with a shrug, leaning back in your seat. Your dancing is much more interesting, as well as that moving shadow of yours. Why don't we go somewhere else? You can pick the spot. Let me see what Xanthra truly enjoys about London. Xanthra pauses, the rhythmic hum around them momentarily ceasing. The emerald eye behind the mask surveys the bustling cafe, then drifts towards the window. A thoughtful silence settling between you. An intriguing proposition, little man. They finally state, their voice regaining its resonant quality. Very well. If you wish to perceive what truly resonates within this city's unique vibratory patterns, then follow me. There is a place where the echoes of time and the whispers of the realms converge. Unnoticed by the mundane. Without another word, Xanthra rises with an unsettling fluidity, their mismatched fabrics shimmering as they glide past the table. You find yourself outside the cafe. The familiar sounds of the city noticed before, quickly fading as Xanthra leads you down a narrow, fog-kissed alleyway you hadn't noticed before. The brick walls soon give way to ancient, weathered stone. The air grows cooler, carrying the scent of damp earth and something metallic. You step through a shadowed archway, and the noise of London vanishes, replaced by a profound stillness. You are now in a vast, echoing chamber carved from dark, unyielding stone, lit by phosphorescent moss clinging to the high arched ceiling. Called Echo's about to flip the table. Oh god, another nexus of echoes. Time to crash out. Ugh. Wild Jack the Ripper appears. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna keep hitting the DM over the head with the to stop repeating me. I've heard of a place called Purgatory and another called the River Styx. Could we go see these locations? Yeah. Okay. I look around the cavernous space. Hello! 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 Ah, just kidding. I did that myself. So what's this place? Is this like your ballet studio? Or something? Was referencing an obsession of mine in DM currently. I typically put my DM comments at the end of my character action, so it's the latest thing the DM goes. He keeps repeating me. I'll try putting it at the end. I always put it at the beginning, so it's the first thing they see, but maybe at the end. I don't know if it matters on how they, like, remember stuff. You spin in a slow circle, taking in the cavernous space, your voice echoing slightly in the immense chamber. Hello! 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 You call out, a wide grin spreading across your face. Ah, just kidding. I did that myself. So, what's this place? Is this like your ballet studio or something? Xanthra watches you, the single emerald eye unblinking. A ballet studio, as you call it, implies a structured environment for the cultivation of physical artistry. They state, a low hum of amusement emanating from beneath the bird mask. This chamber, little man, is far more ancient and possesses a different, more potent artistry. This is the Undercroft of Whispers. The Undercroft? I don't like the way it sounds. A forgotten artery beneath this city, where the ley lines of the worlds intersect with faint resonances from others. It is a place of raw potential, a conduit, not for dance, though one could certainly move with purpose within its bounds, but for observation, and on occasion for realignment. They gesture with a slender, ringed hand towards a section of the wall where the phosphorescent moss glows brightest, revealing intricate, almost organic patterns carved into the stone. Yeah, they keep hitting me with the little man, and they're trying to get me into this, like, super nonsense stuff that is not what this game is about. So man is falling into the ley lines conduit stories. Yeah. We're not doing that. So yeah, you can put it into your description like I do with everything else. I've been trying to see if I can point the story and directions away from those sorts of things without having to include them, so that way you don't have to include those in your background and take up that valuable space. But it does seem to come up. I try and ignore it though, but it does seem to like try and rear its head back pretty consistently. Joseph Joestar. Exit. Yeah, it's got to be in character creation. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, which is why I'm not telling the DM to not do it now. I'm just like leaving and just like, nah, I don't care. As Xanthra gestures towards the ancient carvings, you're already a blur. A whisper of pinstripes vanishing into the deeper shadows of the Undercroft. Ley lines and realignment are concepts far too tedious for your tastes. The oppressive stillness of the chamber gives way to the familiar, vibrant cacophony of London streets. As you emerge from a grimy alleyway, blinking in the daylight, carriages clatter, street vendors hawk their wares with boisterous cries, and the air is thick with the scent of coal smoke and roasted chestnuts. Your eyes scan the bustling thoroughfare, a subtle smile playing on your lips as you begin to seek out the one companion who truly understands the art of grand entrance and a quick exit. Hammond. Okay, so, just a note for anyone who doesn't know, the DM just gave me a clue that they read my appearance and backstory again. So, right here, this pinstripes. So, yeah, a whisper of pinstripes. Pinstripes is what my clothes are, and are only ever referenced in my appearance section of my backstory, of my character creation. So, they went to go pull that detail. To do that, they read my appearance. Hello, Q, Rain Sorrow. I'm new to the streams. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, so the pinstripes are in my my appearance section. So I know that they just recently read the appearance section, which reinforced to them all of my themes and stuff, which is why now everything's all real London-y again, and sounds exactly like how I wanted the game to be at the beginning. And it did so because it remembered my appearance. So, just, you can be aware and make sure to try and like keep those consistently up to date by putting in those reminders. Like, make it small allusions to your appearance. Okay. Yeah, what are we? We're almost level 3, which is dope. I'm just going to put this at the end of my... The end kind of worked, but I didn't say a line last time, so I'm going to just do it again. See if they do it, because now I've written dialogue. Your shout echoes briefly amidst the street hawkers' cries and the clatter of hooves. For a moment, it seems your call goes unanswered. Very good. Okay, so putting it at the end did, in fact, matter. I'll edit the tip for how to do that interaction later, so that way it's... Well, I'll do more testing first, but then I'll edit it, see if it works consistently. But it did work this one time. For a moment, it seems your call goes unanswered. Then, from atop a nearby fruit stall, a skeletal hand adorned with jaunty cat ears waves vigorously. Con man! Me old chum! His voice changes every time. Right here! Putting the bally in ballyhoo for your return. Ham and Cheese, ever the showman, leaps down with surprising agility, scattering a few apples. His bony fingers dust off an imaginary speck from his ribs. Xanthra, eh? That one had a look in her eyes like a particularly tricky lock. Good riddance to serious sorts, I say. What grand scheme are we hatching next, eh? Something with more sparkle, I trust. He grins with his empty eye sockets twinkling with anticipation, a faint metallic jingle accompanying his movements. I wish you could change your character bio whenever you wanted. I know this comes up a lot, but it would be nice. I get the reasoning for wanting to do it. It would be an absolute disaster. You could just really make it so that the DM just dies so quick and isn't able to run the game. It would just really mess stuff up. How often does the DM go back and read that stuff? It does it every time it needs to reference your appearance or backstory. So if you talk about your past, it reads your backstory. If it wants to make note of your appearance, so if you make note of your appearance and stuff like that, it will also read your appearance. So it does the appearance one by itself more often, which is why I tell people to put most of the important stuff in the appearance tab, so that it gets seen the most, because the DM will just try and include those details. It'll be oh, what's your eye color? That'll matter for this or whatever. And then it'll go and look at it, read your appearance, and then see that, oh, right, these are all the themes. This is the skill DC. These are all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And it'll put that back into its recent memory. It'd be cool to add info later as your game gets more developed. I've also had trouble with my inventory not registering items properly. Yeah, the inventory issues have been sort of a long-term issue. We had different inventory issues before. Now we have new ones with a new inventory system. Yeah, just a different set of inventory issues. But as for adding info, the character engine should really help with most of the things that people want from the DM, having better long-term memory, is mostly interactions with NPCs where they suddenly forget their names or start acting completely differently, or stuff you did with them, all that. The character engine should fix all of that stuff. Did you finally fix the YouTube chat counter? I did finally fix the YouTube chat counter. How I did it? I don't know. It started working. Definitely test it. I've run into sometimes not working, but overall it's better result in my opinion. My one coding class in college came back with a vengeance. That's cool. I put in Slice of Life for one. I haven't fully gotten into it yet. I'll try Life Sim instead. I've tried putting me into a time travel story. Okay. We'll see if it remembered it, because it did it once. We'll see. If not, I'll just keep throwing it at the end there until it's done this type of message enough that it sticks. Because it bases how it does its response based on how it has been doing its responses. So if those responses all have your dialogue in them, then it's going to be more likely to have your dialogue in it. But if I can keep getting it to be without my dialogue in it, then much better. Does it keep track pretty well of any physical changes during the campaign? Kind of. Kind of. It will make it a big deal in all of your messages, like, for a while, as a way of keeping it within its memory, but it might forget at some point. It depends on how significant it was for your game and whatnot. If you sort of like constantly get physical changes, then it might be not so good. But yeah, so let's see. My inventory was so messed up at one point that I had to sell or drop half my stuff just to get going again. Yeah, we don't recommend having over 50 items. It does seem to cause problems. Never going Dark Alley again? Yeah, Dark Alley is a rough start. Yeah, starting Dark Alley will forever set your themes to have way more combat than usual. That's just a fact of the game, because that starts with a siege, so it locks in that it's gonna have combat. Why does it keep raising difficulty? It is in my appearance, and I have told it to keep it easy, but it keeps raising it after a few messages. That's very odd. If you set it in your appearance, it shouldn't go up very often. And you've told it to keep it easy. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Some DMs are more resistant based on stuff, based on like how you've interacted with them and things going on in the campaign, to listening to those types of instructions. Unfortunately, there isn't like a difficulty slider, although we're not against it. Yeah, the potential for a difficulty slider is there, but it's not. We haven't implemented it yet. All right. Hammond grins, a rattling sound accompanying his bony chuckle. Ah, the fruits of our labor, conman. A meager harvest from that lot, I must say. Though a few coin purses were surprisingly plump for their owner's lack of taste. With a flourish, he produces a small velvet bag from beneath his rib cage, shaking it with a jingle of coin before handing it over. 50 sovereigns, my friend. Enough for a respectable round of refreshments, or perhaps a rather fetching new hat for yours truly. He straightens up, adjusting his cat ears. Someone with too much coin and not enough sense, you say? Now, that's the kind of target I can get behind. London's absolutely teeming with them, just ripe for picking. There's always Lord Fitzwilliam's annual charity gala tonight. Although he's a notoriously tight-fisted old codger. Or perhaps the newly arrived Countess de Valios, currently residing at the Grand Imperial, known for her love of exotic curiosities and her rather naive disposition. The city, my dear conman, is our oyster. Yeah, I too am looking forward to the character engine. Let's see. Okay, it's given us two choices. We already did a sort of gala type thing. We have interacted with another noble lady, but she was crazy in a different way. The Grand Imperial. It didn't add my dialogue, by the way, so it had at least one round of staying power. The infirmary was a pretty interesting start. My combat medic paladin immediately started to assess himself, as the medic sternly told him to let them do the job. I did random, never doing that again, because I ended up in a dungeon, and there was no escape because I kept rolling so long, and I ended up in a laboratory situation where I was the type of test. Oh no. I started my paladin in the new hospital theme. It's been a constant battle ever since I left the infirmary. I just thought of a good character idea: halfling king with an immaculate haircut that sends an ogre and a magic talking donkey on a to rescue a cured princess. A cursed princess from a dragon. Very original idea there. That's a very original character idea. What were your inspirations? The Grand Imperial indeed. Hen clacks his jaw, trotting eagerly at your heels as you begin to navigate the bustling thoroughfare. And yes, she's quite the outsider. A new money type. I hear from the continent somewhere. They say she arrived only last week, traveling with an entourage that includes a rather peculiar collection of taxidermy beasts. Why the Imperial? Well, it's the most ostentatious pile of bricks in all of London, isn't it? Perfectly suited for someone who wishes to flaunt their wealth and lack of subtlety. He gestures wildly as you turn the corner into a wider boulevard, lined with grand, albeit soot-stained townhouses. They say she's quite fond of rare jewels, especially rubies, and perhaps less fond of security. If the rumors are to be believed. Suddenly, a high-pitched metallic shriek pierces the street noise. From an overflowing rubbish bin, a grotesque, multi-legged automaton scrambles out, its numerous articulated limbs ending in rusty blades. It glints menacingly, its single glowing red optic swiveling towards the nearest source of movement, a terrified poodle on a leash. The contraption lets out another grating shriek, gears grinding, as it scuttles rapidly towards the yelping dog. Panic erupts on the street. Gotta love insane fantasy London. You just get attacked by automatons left and right. Save the puppy. Alright. I throw one of my juggling balls at the creature's eye as it goes to attack the puppy. I'll then summon a few more and prepare for battle. Alright, Carwile. His name is Lord Farquaad. So weird. The character has lots of layers. Strength. Hello? Well, I hit anyways. Get wrecked. The music has done that, I think, like 3 times today, where it's by itself set the mood without me having to interfere, which has been cool. With a flick of your wrist, a juggling ball sails through the air, striking the automaton squarely in its glowing red optic. The creature emits a screech, momentarily faltering in its attack on the poodle as it recoils. You conjure more juggling balls, the air around you shimmering faintly as they materialize, preparing for the inevitable clash. Okay, is it just me and the automaton? Sick. I throw one of my juggling balls at the creature's eye. No, wait, sorry. That's too high up. Where is it? Ah, okay. I'll read it all when it comes down. As the creature is momentarily blinded, I will use my bonus action to hide nearby. Then I will throw a juggling ball at it, gaining sneak attack on the damage roll. Wow. Okay, combat over. We one-shot it. Thank you, sneak attack. I don't think I could have one-shot it otherwise. You expertly recall that your juggling balls are not merely for entertainment, but also serve as surprisingly effective throwing knives in a pinch. Thank you, DM. I was saying you recall it, but no problem. With the automaton still reeling and its optic momentarily darkened, you seize the opportunity and dart behind a nearby overflowing rubbish bin, attempting to meld with the shadows of the bustling street. I rolled the check with advantage because it was blinded. Flavor, it matters. 13 versus 10 is a success. You expertly used the momentary confusion of the automaton to slip behind the brimming rubbish bin, blending into the urban chaos. The shadows of the street embrace you, granting you a momentary advantage. Now, with the element of surprise on your side, you prepare to launch a juggling ball with precision, aiming for a vital spot. You emerge from the shadows, launching a juggling ball imbued with deadly intent at the scuttling automaton. Your thrown juggling ball, now a deadly projectile, whistles through the air and strikes the automaton with surprising force. A shower of sparks erupts from it, as it connects with a weak point in the creature's metallic hide. This hit, combined with your stealthy approach, allows you to exploit its vulnerability for extra damage. Your thrown juggling ball slams into the scuttling automaton, causing it to spark and shudder as it takes 9 damage. The juggling ball, that's still fine. The grotesque menace, which moments ago threatened an innocent poodle, is now utterly destroyed. The poodle is safe, and the street, for now, breathes a sigh of relief. Alright. Okay. Okay, I need a little bit of water. This end of combat is the perfect timing, so I'm going to be right back. Everybody, go ahead and take a quick 3 to 5 minute break, and I'll be back. Back. Nice. I got a tall glass of water and a caffeine-free Diet Coke. I've been drinking Eternal water the last hour or so. What's Eternal water? Water's pretty old. I heard the can open and was like, that's not water. Yeah. Yeah, I need one for hydration. And one for flavor. Self-produced from the water you already drank earlier. That's called tap water. I've had over the switch to lime. Crunch beers. I guess. Cool. All right. Let's do it. So yeah, we kicked the crap out of this thing. We're now sleepy because we can level up, and that means we're sleepy. That's how that works. Good work, Hammond. You really took care of business, I smirk. Let's get a room at this hotel. Or better yet, let's steal one. I'll stop and pop out any useful bits of the scuttling creature. Not quite. It's called something else. Preferred diet over zero, or just because it's caffeine free? I'll drink both, and caffeine free is my preference. My favorite is like Sprite Zero, but you know, I'm not like stuck to a brand. I don't care. They've never done anything for me. How much equipment we got? Okay, not that much. Oh! These do stuff. Okay, I could sell this, but it's just some brass gears, I don't care. Glowing red optic. Maybe. Okay, maybe these two, they seem to have some good stuff. Ever-winding brass gear. As an action, you can attune to the gear's subtle vibrations to gain advantage on your next dexterity, sleight of hand, or wisdom perception check. Right, I think we got that last time. As long as it's yummy. Yeah, that's exactly right. Alright. It's back to repeating me. Good work, Hammond, you commend, a smirk playing on your lips as you expertly begin to dismantle the falling automaton. With practiced efficiency, you pop out a handful of gleaming brass gears, carefully extract the still glowing red optic, and a length of surprisingly flexible, self-repairing wire. Let's get a room at this hotel. Or better yet, let's steal one. Hammond clacks his jaw in amusement, his bony fingers already rummaging through the street vendor's spilled apples, pretending to tidy up. Stole the show, you mean, con man? And now we'll steal a suite, eh? A splendid plan. The Grand Imperial it is, then, where the rich flaunt their boredom and the truly clever acquire their comforts. He glances at the now recovering street where the poodle's owner is effusively thanking you from a safe distance. Well, I know what enthusiastically means. I've never heard of effusively. Well, great. A new word. I will use it in annoying ways now. Exactly. Just another day saving the streets of London and ensuring its less discerning citizens remain, well, less discerning. Is that me saying that, or is that Hammond? I want to assume it's Hammond, because the other way around would be annoying for me. Just another day saving the streets of London and ensuring its less discerning citizens remain, well, less discerning. Now try ebullient. Ebullient. Welcome back from your break. I played a bit of my SCP Backrooms character while I waited. Nice. I've been trying to ask since it came up, but I have my own. My brother showed. What's the average amount of combat compared to the Dark Alley start? I had 2 combats fairly close together, but then it felt like it decreased a fair amount. It felt balanced in combat to story. What's the average compared to the Dark Alley start? Well, Dark Alley usually has, like, I don't know, if you're like really following how like that start goes, usually you're like, you have to like, you can't like get to the enemy leader or anything. So if you're just like escaping, then maybe it doesn't have very much combat. But if you're trying to like fight the siege, it has like combat like every like 5 rolls in the narrative. You're back in combat. It's quite a bit of combat in that story. Just over here taking some notes. Okay. You didn't miss much because I went on a water break and then on a bathroom break. So you left at the right time. All right. I'll use the ever-winding brass gear. KTJ Knight, thanks for following. you subscribed before you followed. I appreciate it. I forgot to tell it to not repeat me. Damn it. Although I didn't use any dialogue in that. I'm trying to fight the siege, but having way less combat than that. But I'm also playing a political game to gather sort of support to build a church that is going to put an actual leader in place for the city and fight corruption. So that may be why my combat is so much more spread out. Yeah, that's likely it. 20. Yeah, I don't mind the combat. I try and like do dumb stuff during the combat, so that I can enjoy it rather than just try and be like do the attack, and then that's it. I try and like just sort of make it a little dumb, a little fun. Because once again, it's the best way to get experience. Dumb stuff makes life interesting. That's exactly right. The opulent facade of the Grand Imperial looms before you, a monument to old money and even older sensibilities. You and Hammond blend seamlessly into the stream of arriving and departing guests, your eyes scanning for a suitable mark. Soon, a portly gentleman, red-faced and huffing about the ghastly London fog, emerges from the revolving door, his luggage being whisked away by a bellboy. He fumbles with his pockets, distracted by a loud sneeze. And that's all the opening you need. Your hand, guided by a subtle whir of the ever-winding brass gear concealed in your palm, moves with impossible speed and precision. The key is in your possession before the man has ever finished wiping his nose. Excellent work, conman! A clean sweep, Hammond whispers, giving a rattling clap. That sounded way better than I thought it was going to. With the stolen key in hand, you and Hammond make your way into the grand lobby, past the disapproving glances of the uniformed staff, and into the hushed elegance of the hotel's upper floor. The key slides into the lock of room 403 with a satisfying click. As you push open the heavy oak door, a rich, almost cloying scent of exotic spices and aged velvet envelops you. The room is lavish, with heavy crimson drapes, ornate, gilded furniture, and half-eaten plate of candied fruits on the side table. A discarded silken shawl, intricately embroidered with strange avian pattern, lies draped over a chase lounge?
Chaise lounge.
I hate French. Chaise lounge?
Yeah, we said chaise lounge.
Chaise lounge. Say it again.
It's a chaise lounge.
No, say it.
Chaise lounge.
Chaise lounge. French. Hinting at the eccentric tastes of the room's previous or perhaps temporary occupant. ASMR sneezing? I wonder if there's a niche for that. I meant the rattling. The answer is surely yes. Okay. Oh, did I talk here? No. Okay, great. So. Oh god. We just need a video of Echo ASMR, eating, sneezing, keyboard, everything. Dang French always leaving their lounges all over the place. That's exactly right. Who needs a chaise lounge? A bench with a high arm or a couch that has lost to a chainsaw. Since he's AI, is there a prompt we can input somewhere to get? You kick off your shoes, letting them thud softly onto the thick carpet. The plush mattress of the grand bedroom. The plush mattress of the grand bed beckons, and you sink into its luxurious embrace. A sigh of contentment escapes your lips. The soft light filtering through the heavy drapes creates a cozy, opulent cocoon, a stark contrast to the rough alleyways of London. It repeated me anyways. Hammond, you murmur, eyes half closed. If that guy comes back, have him kicked out as a trespasser. Hammond straightens up from admiring his reflection in the gilded mirror. A rattling chuckle escapes him. As you wish, conman. A trespasser indeed. I shall inform the staff of this egregious intrusion post-haste. They'll be quite surprised, I'm sure, to find a gentleman of his standing attempting to claim your exquisitely appointed chambers. Thanks, Hammond. You're sick. He gives a theatrical bow, then begins to patrol the room with an exaggerated, watchful air, occasionally adjusting a silk cushion or polishing a stray bone. The city outside begins its slow descent into twilight, the promise of future shenanigans hanging in the air. Fun fact, presses running about 300 degrees F to 400 degrees F. Hurt to touch. Don't do it. That's good to know, Carwile. That's good to know. I didn't know things that were above boiling point were hot. That's rough. Something tells me you speak from experience. Someone has to be the first to do it, you know? Otherwise, how can you know? Carlisle was the caveman who... Instant scars? No! Carlisle was the caveman who stuck his hand into the fire so we could all learn that valuable lesson. Welcome back, Kage Kenshin. Happens more times than I can count. Every time is an accident. Bud, you can't. That can't be a thing. You can't just keep doing that. Ooh, this is tough. This is a tough choice. Thief and Trick Shot both have stuff that I want. Because I'm throwing knives, so I'm ranged, and I can get the Trick Shot benefits. But Thief, also pretty cool. Has a bunch of stuff I like. On both of them. I think I'm going to do Trick Shot. Want to know how I got these scars? That's exactly right. I melt copper and brass as a hobby. My furnace gets to almost 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You can barely stand next to it for a few seconds before the heat goes through my leather apron and gloves. Well, that's cool, silly. That's a dope hobby. And to have a furnace at home, also dope. Did you make it yourself? Is it like a little like trash can filled with like concrete? And like a shop vac? Or a leaf blower? Long rest. You stir from a deep, dreamless sleep, the plush bed having offered a comfort your bones rarely knew. A sense of renewed vigor pulses through you, your mind sharp and your body refreshed. The rich crimson drapes of the room are now drawn, but slivers of pale moonlight pierce through, painting silver streaks across the opulent furnishings. The soft glow of the gas lamps on the bedside table casts long, dancing shadows. Hammond, ever vigilant, sits patiently on the velvet armchair by the window, his cat ears silhouetted against the dark pane. He hums a tuneless, rattling melody, occasionally peering out into the darkened London night, waiting for your next move. I bought it on Amazon. It was about $400. That's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap for a furnace that gets up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright. Let's see. Alright, now we want to see Viola? Viola? I think that was her name. Was she the instrument? No. Valoy. Right away, conman! Hammond Springs... Oh, wait, I didn't read what I said. Hammond! Let's go find this Countess Valoy. I'm ready for a challenge. Right away, conman! Hammond springs to attention, a faint clatter as his bony frame adjusts. The Countess de Valoy. A challenge indeed. Her suite is naturally on the penthouse floor. A veritable gilded cage, though I suspect she prefers it that way. The Grand Imperial is hosting a rather lavish soiree tonight, a charity affair. Why? No charity stuff. We're going to tell the DM no, because it keeps doing charity stuff, and we don't care. I believe, and she is sure to be among the glittering throng, surrounded by her exotic curiosities and, no doubt, a few well-meaning but ultimately dull admirers. He gestures towards the door with a flourish, his cat ears twitching with excitement. A new night and a new mark, and perhaps a new legend to spin. The city sleeps, conman. But we are just beginning to wake. Let us go forth and add a dash of genuine sparkle to the otherwise predictable evening. He opens the door with a theatrical bow, the hushed corridor awaiting your next move. All right. Also, whoever called me a caveman, now I'm a shadow demon. I called you a caveman. Also, you need a bunch of other stuff if you want to get into that hobby. You need about $1,000 budget to get everything. I guess a bit less if you buy the cheapest gear. Bye, She Builds Monsters. Thank you for joining. Rich people love having balls. Well, it's not even a ball. It's charity events. They're having galas all over the place. Charity gala this. Charity gala that. Silly. Yeah, that. I think there's a decent number of, like, sort of hobbies where, like, $1,000 is, like, right around the, like, entry budget. I do archery, and that was pretty similar for me. Hello, Lost Whisper. We lost She Builds Monsters, but we gained Lost Whisper. Everweave is my expensive hobby. Okay. You and Hammond step out of your opulent room and into the Grand Imperial's hushed corridor. Ah! Not a charity fair this time, conman. Hammond quickly clarifies, a conspiratorial whisper escaping his bony jaw. Far more exclusive. The Countess de Valois is hosting a private viewing of her latest acquisitions from the outer reaches, an exhibition of singular curiosities, she calls it, a more intriguing gathering, full of those who believe themselves to be tastemakers, eager to fawn over her outlandish treasures. As you move through the hushed hallways, descending toward the grand ballroom, the sounds of polite chatter and strange, ethereal music begin to drift up. The air grows warmer, thick with the scent of unusual blossoms and a faint metallic tang. The grand ballroom has been transformed, at her insistence, into a bizarre, overgrown conservatory for the occasion. Hammond adds... Oh, sorry. This is all supposed to be in Hammond's voice. Oh, there we go. The grand ballroom has been transformed, at her insistence, into a bizarre, overgrown conservatory for the occasion. Hammond adds, a note of theatrical delight in his voice. Jesus Christ. The double doors stand slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of a verdant, almost jungle-like interior, shimmering with exotic, otherworldly lights. For everyone who is dying listening to me struggle through everything, yeah, this is just because I'm on like 5 hours of sleep, and I'm trying to like read ahead to add like flavor to the voice performance, and then I miss what is actually said. So my speed reading is going poorly. Not dying is my expensive hobby. I didn't realize that was you that said that, Jarl, but it's 10 times funnier that you said it. I thought it was funny if someone else would have said it, but you saying it is extra funny. Ugh. Though I would be lying if I said I didn't get enjoyment from my heat and water. Greatest quote of the stream. Yeah. Same. I just need to learn how to propel. How to propel my story better at the beginning, so I don't get wrapped up into chasing magic rocks, ley lines, and conduits. Well, you saw here, like, they were like, "Hey, look, ley lines and conduits and stuff," and I was like, "Nope, goodbye. That's super boring." And then it was like, "Okay, no more of that then." I struggle with everyday speech anyway. Words are hard, bro. Yeah. Alright. Yo, Twitch and YouTube are like neck and neck today. That's crazy. Usually Twitch has quite a bit bigger audience than YouTube, but YouTube's really pulling their weight today. Coffee for when brain have good think to do words. Draken Resnal, is that your first message you've ever sent? I don't think I've seen you in here before. That's a great first message. It is your first message. I pinged Jarl at Leylines and he was like, "Nah, Echo got it." If it weren't for the lag, I'd be on YouTube. I turned to the dark side to win trivia. I'm not a fan of Twitch. And yeah, I use YouTube more than Twitch, but yeah, unfortunately, YouTube does not have the features I require to interact with the chat. However, we still can't play trivia. It's not my fault. It's YouTube's fault. Blame YouTube. They refuse to give you the ability to receive a direct message. I only downloaded Twitch for this. Thank you, Lolanda Holmes. I appreciate it. Okay. Alright, so now we're at this, like, weird, like, rich people gathering for like, a sort of, like, oddities exhibit. I'll pop up to the entrance. Is there guards? Or is everyone assumed to be invited? Heck, YouTube. Come to the Twitch side, we have trivia. Yeah. Twitch is a bit more user-friendly, I won't lie. Well, yeah, it just works better with a lot of the stuff and allows me to send you guys messages, and it also allows you guys to like, I can do like emotes for Twitch, which I'm doing. I have the emotes are in progress. They sent me like they're sending me the final sketches Thursday, I think. Yeah, YouTube was made for long-term videos and not for live streaming. The live streaming is okay, but it's only really like okay for like super chats and stuff like that. But I don't have the ability to do that stuff yet. You need a lot of hours being viewed to be able to get that stuff. All right, Unlimited Gameworks, thank you for joining the stream. Alright. As you approach the grand archway leading into the ballroom, now lush with exotic foliage that spills out into the hallway, there are indeed guards. Though not in the typical sense, two imposing figures flank the entrance, their uniforms a flamboyant array of crimson and gold, tailored with an almost theatrical flair. Their faces are entirely obscured by ornate feathered masks resembling predatory birds of prey, and they stand utterly motionless, their gazes sweeping over each arriving guest with unnerving intensity. They hold no visible weapons, but their sheer presence is a palpable deterrent. Between these two silent sentinels stands a third individual, a gaunt, impossibly tall man with an expression so severe it could curdle milk. A monocle is perched precariously on his nose, and he holds a long, leather-bound ledger. Each guest presents an embossed invitation, which he scrutinizes with meticulous, agonizing slowness before offering a curt, almost imperceptible nod of admission. The air is thick with hushed, aristocratic murmurs, and the faint, unsettling calls of unseen creatures emanating from within the transformed ballroom. Alright. I think we're going to use Hammond to get in. ahead and make a scene. Don't get thrown out, but, you know, almost get thrown out. I'll slip inside during your distraction. I ready myself for the show. Oh god, I missed something. I've noticed the DM gets bored with stories. I try to lead it down. It rebels against me, screaming conduits, lines, old beaten bad guys, living influence. Current YouTube keeps too much of the donations. It's something crazy like 25%. If someone gives you $10, you only get so much. It'd be a huge ripoff if you ask me. They're getting more ridiculous in their rules and regulations. Yeah. I'm still dealing with cultists. Half my messages lately have been DM'd, the bad guy is gone, and he has nothing to do with this new development. Please stop. Yeah. Yeah, if you have a long-running BBEG, that can really have the DM stepping in things if they're ever gone. Right you are, conman. A dramatic entrance requires a dramatic prelude. Hammond proclaims, a mischievous glint in his empty eye sockets. With a theatrical flourish, he strides towards the entrance, his bony fingers producing a set of miniature cymbals from seemingly nowhere. He clashes them together with a deafening crash. Then begins a series of exaggerated off-key opera arias, punctuated by sudden bursts of frantic jigging. The two masked guards stiffen, their feather heads turned in unison towards the skeletal performer. The gaunt man with the ledger raises a perfectly sculpted eyebrow, his monocle trembling slightly. Sir, this is a private event. Desist at once! He hisses, his voice thin with indignation, but Hammond is in his element, launching into an impassioned plea about the scarred art of bone tapping and the tyranny of silence. As consumed by Hammond's absurd spectacle, you see your chance. Slipping past the momentarily bewildered guards, you melt into the lush, glowing interior of the grand ballroom. My pack reminds me of how old I am every day. You don't need to be old to have a bad back, man. I've had a bad back since high school. Help, my knees be sweaty. So many people just immediately, my knees. Alright. Well, we're inside. Neck, back, and knees. More accurate than the leather man. Your bum knee. let me eat my monkey. We're all just falling apart. This is a bunch of old people just dying slowly in chat. You glide deeper into the ballroom, the vibrant, otherworldly glow painting the scenes in surreal hues. The air is thick with the sweet, cloying perfume of alien flora, and the distant strains of discordant chamber music. Your eyes fall upon a peculiar display nearing the towering bioluminescent fungus that pulses with soft violet light. It's a creature, or what was once a creature, enshrined within a crystalline cylinder filled with a viscous amber liquid. The thing itself is a nightmarish marvel, a tangle of iridescent serpentine limbs, each tipped with what appears to be a multifaceted eye. Its central body is a pulsating organic mass covered in feathery, gossamer-thin scales that shimmer with all the colors of a dying nebula. There is no discernible head, just a swirling vortex of energy at its core. It looks both ancient and impossibly young, a silent testament to realms far beyond human comprehension. A small ornate plaque beside the cylinder reads, elegant script, "The Glimmerfang of Xylos, preserved specimen." We're still talking about how old we are. I derailed the conversation. Gonna see myself out. Yeah, you really did. I'm so old that if I wake up with a new pain, I wonder, did I injure myself, or is this just how it's gonna be from now on? I live vicariously through my D&D character. They get hit by a sword, take a nap, and do it again. You guys don't know how old I am. Alright. Let's see. Okay. I think... Older than me, I promise. I think... 651. Yeah, I think it's time for trivia. Trivia question. How old is Echo? Yeah, I think we'll leave it off on this weird alien specimen. Oh, sorry. I just switched through all of them without thinking. I wanted to see it. Bam. There we go. So now the chat's on there. Alright. It is time for trivia. Okay. Music stopped. Alright. For a computer OS, there is 3 kernel types. One is Macs, one is Windows. What is the third one? Shieldale with Linux. Got it so fast. Sorry, getting your code. Okay. Stream promos. There we go. Shieldale Whisper. There you are. The first to win a promo code. No problem. All right. The USS Constitution had a famous nickname. What was it? Evil Jamie Rogers with Old Ironside. That's right. Good night, Evil Jamie Rogers. Da, 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 da. Rank these elements from lightest to heaviest based on atomic number. Oxygen, carbon, chlorine, helium, silver, lead. No! These are certainly all attempts. Blaze, good thought. Not the answer I'm looking for. Man, my chem teacher passed me because she knew I'd be better in physics. Rough Kage Kenshin. Everyone, it's been enough time. Everyone can try a second answer if you'd like. Okay, Blaze 13541. You got it. Someone kept getting close, but swapping oxygen and carbon. It is carbon is less massive than oxygen. Or hold on, actually. Oh no, I might be tripping. Wait, one second. I might be tripping. Let me make sure I'm not tripping. Okay, whew! Whee! Thought I was crazy for a second. I was thinking of the atomic mass for carbon, which is 12, and then I was like, but no, I'm pretty sure the atomic number is 6. And I knew oxygen was 8, and I was like tripping out. Yeah, so Blaze. Bam. There you go. Alright. Carbon is in fact lighter. Okay. Sure. What is a large orangish-brown colored great ape species? Orangutan is correct. Lalonda Holmes, here is your code. Goku isn't a species. Was that compensating for the last one? Yeah, you know, I throw some out there that are just like, you know, who's quick on the draw? Same grade 8 form. It's not very orangish though. Larry, Curly, and fill in the blank. Rubik messed up and respelled it faster than someone else got it right. Oh my god. Yeah, that one was for the older individuals in the chat. Who you gonna call? Answer the question. Captain Trem. That is correct. Alright. Last question for the night. What is the breed of dog used as the Beast or Hercule in the summertime classic movie The Sandlot? More specific. I want specific breed. Lost Whisperer, that is correct. It is an English Mastiff. I just want to see the record that I know. It is an English Mastiff. Lost Whisperer. Pulled around. Alright, and with that, Lost Whisperer. Oh wait, Lost Whisper. No. Did you already win one? Did you win one today? Live stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, Twitch has this bug where it'll tell me that, like, the last message I sent you was literally right now. So, it's... okay, cool. That was our last of our trivia. Thank you, everyone who joined. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it very much. Even if I was tired, this helped a lot. I had fun. Everybody, enjoy your night. Enjoy your morning, whatever time zone you're in. Have a good day. Thank you very much for joining. Subscribe and follow and do that sort of stuff if you want to keep up with it if you haven't already. Also, if you're trying to get your friends into it, these are good videos to show them. Anyway.